Hi guys, it's Wombat and welcome to my very first ever ATS video. And it's about time I do one, because I have so far done 115 videos of ETS2 and not a single one of ATS, despite me, well, at least for a while now, been playing ATS as well. So let's jump right into it and start with what most of us, or at least a few of us, some of us, me, would start with when installing and playing ATS maps. So as a spoiled ETS2 player with all the DLCs installed, this is all I have of maps when I install ATS, and as you can see, it's not a lot. We gotta do something about that. So if you follow me, I'll show you how to install the most common, or at least from my perspective, probably most common map mods. Now in the description of this video you will find links to the map mods we are installing, and as long as you know how to download using links and know how to, if needed, extract the SCS files or the zip files, whatever is available, and know where to place them, which is in your profile under Documents, American Truck Simulator, Mods, then we shouldn't have a problem. And if you have downloaded the files, you have extracted them when needed, you have placed them in the mods folder, you then open up the mod manager, you then select the coast to coast map, add it to active mods, put it at the very bottom where all the maps should be, and press confirm changes. And when we get back into the game, you'll see that we have the entire, or at least most of the United States available. Now you are able to drive from coast to coast. Hooray! But it's not enough. We gotta do more. We are going to, after that, install the other two, from my perspective, most common map mods. And the first one of those is the Canadreams. And Canadream adds, well, you can almost hear it on the name of it. It is Canada, and as you see, I installed it second to last because the Canadream and a lot of other maps needs coast to coast, or has some kind of dependency to C2C. So as you can see now, we have added a huge part of Canada. It's not all of Canada, but there's a lot of it there. And yeah, as you can see, I've already been there. I cheated a little. I knew it would work. We will get to why it doesn't always work, but anyway, we are going to add the third part, which I find pretty essential, and that is Viva Mexico, which adds, obviously, Mexico. And that's a 3-mod installation, and as you can see, these 3 mods, it is very important that you add them in the correct order. And in my case, what I found is that if you place 2 ones you saw there at the bottom and the last one on top of everything else, it shouldn't be a problem. You would have a perfectly well working map, as you can see here, with some cities like Chihuahua not having any roads added to it, which in this case is perfectly fine. It is what it is in the mod right now, and I would say that in the next version of Viva Mexico, which was probably going to be version 2.5, those cities will have roads as well. But for now, it doesn't. And again, that's perfectly fine. So now we have Canada, we have the entire or most of the United States of America, and we have Mexico. So let's try something different as well. We are going to add another 3 mods now, just to show how just for you to get a feel of how to install additional map mods. So as you can see, we have added the Hawaii map, but that's not all. We are going to add a couple of additional maps. US 50 and CA99 is one map we're going to add. We're going to place it on top of all the other map mods. And finally, we are also going to install the map DLC Peru. And I'm going to explain to you why I install these three particular ones. I wanted to prove that you can add any map you like as long as it is compatible with the DLCs, and as long as the map you install doesn't interfere geographically with the other map mods you have already installed. And in this case, that means that both Hawaii, you see Hawaii there, and Peru will work perfectly fine with whatever map mods you have, because they don't take up any space geographically. That's the map mods you have already installed uses. And the last criteria, it doesn't require you to run them on a separate profile. The last map we installed there, the US 50 and California 99 roads, is an add-on to the DLC California, and you may install that as well, because that do not interfere with the coast-to-coast map, and obviously not neither the Mexico map nor the Canada map. It is an add-on to the DLC. So that is just as fine, adding those add-ons. And there are also add-ons to the C2C map as well, and possibly even for the Canadream map, and I know there is a few for the Viva Mexico map as well. And I actually tried to install one of those, but I couldn't get it to work immediately, so I gave up. I don't have any patience for that kind of thing. One last thing to mention is that by adding all these maps, if you look at this map here, now the freight market map, you can see that the cities have been moved a bit to the right from the map. That's shit that happens when you add map add-ons, as we have done, and in many cases there are fixes for that available. I haven't bothered with doing anything about it. Maybe I one day come across something that corrects it, but for now I'm just gonna leave it as it is. If you can't stand a thing like that, in this case remove the Hawaii and or the Peru map, and that will sort everything out. So to summarize, if you want to do exactly the map configuration that I did, you install the Viva Mexico model 02, model 01 at the very bottom. Then just above that you have the C2C map, above that you have the Canadream map, and then you have the Viva Mexico map. With those three maps you have the foundation in place, and on top of that, in this example, we have also installed the Hawaii map, the map DLC Peru, and very important, the map DLC Peru fix on top of that, and last but not least, the US 50 and CA99 map mod. Now finally, before I end this video, there is a couple of things more I need to say, and that is that what we've done here is going through basics of how to install and make map mods works. There are a ton of different reasons to why adding these map mods wouldn't work, but generally they will, unless you have any other maps than what those we just listed. And if you have them in any other versions than we have in this video, things won't work, and it will also not work if you have another version of ATS than I have been recording using. And the version of ATS I have when recording this is version 1.30.0.1. If you have any other version than that, it may or may not work. And in worst case, adding these map mods will screw up your profiles totally, which means that you will have to start over from scratch unless you made a backup of the profiles before you, or the profile before you started adding these maps. That's the kind of disclaimer I need to add, for legal reasons I guess. Anyway, that is all I have for this very first ATS video. Now you have my map mod setup, and these maps and possibly a few others in the coming weeks, months, years is what I will be driving on. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope to see you next time, guys. Take care, drive safely, bye bye.